Oh, the feeling of waking up on a Saturday in October. Now, this is not just one ordinary Saturday. This is no time for pumpkin patches, apple orchards, yard work, or festive lattes. Today is all about traditions, touchdowns, Zoom gates, and so much more. For the first time in 301 days, Penn State football is back, and we are live from Indianapolis, Indiana. This is the Unrivaled Pregame Show.
The wait is over.
It's been such a long ride.
Big Ten football is coming back.
After so much anticipation, this is it.
I think it's just fun to have some normalcy, to have college football back. 2020 has been a strange year.
A team on the verge of greatness.
We've done some good things in the last 6 years, but the best is in front of us.
Built on championship standards.
You're willing to sacrifice small things now for big things later.
Our process continues here. This is the moment we've been waiting for. We are ready. Are you? Live from Bloomington, Indiana. You are watching the Unrivaled Pregame Show.
And we welcome you into the Unrivaled Pregame Show, brought to you by Highmark, live from Indianapolis, Indiana, as we take a look at our Zoom gates, the VIP Zoom room, which you can be a part of in the future on the Unrivaled Pregame Show, as well as everybody else that is involved around campus. We got the Nittany Lion making an appearance. We got the We Are statue, the Gate A, the Lion Shrine, and we've got a jam-packed show for you this morning, beginning here at 8 a.m. Eastern. I am live in Indianapolis from the team hotel. They will get set here in just a couple of minutes behind us with the breakfast. Terry Smith, who's walking up right now, is going to join us here on the Unrivaled Pregame Show live. And we want to see your pictures throughout the show using hashtag PSUPride. Make sure to send your pictures along to us to see a couple of those guys already getting after it this morning on the tailgate side of things, the virtual tailgate side of things. Gary, hello to you from Erie, Pennsylvania. Sue, hello to you as well, watching over in Maryland. And plenty of shout-outs continuing along throughout the show. We want to hear your questions, your comments, what you want to see on the Unrivaled Pregame Show moving forward, and obviously so much more. Now, Terry Smith joins us live here at the team hotel. I mean, finally, Terry, it is game day. How's it feel?
We're excited. You can hear the music in the background. The guys are ready. Had a good walkthrough yesterday and about to eat breakfast and get this day started.
Now, what's Terry Smith's breakfast look like on a normal game day basis? I know there's a big selection back there, but what's it normally look like?
Well, for me, I'm a little different. I'm not a heavy eater, and I especially don't do breakfast too much. So I'll probably grab a little bit of fruit just to hold me over, and it's going to carry me for the rest of the day. So I won't eat anything until after the game.
Now, I know obviously there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of excitement, probably some stress that goes into the first game day, especially during the 2020 season. But what does this Penn State fan base have to look forward to with this football team?
Well, you know, Penn State traditionally, we're going to play hard. We're going to play really smart. We're going to get after Indiana. Every play we're going to compete to the whistle. And, we're not going to play a perfect football game, but we're trying to do that. And, you'll be proud of the results that we put out there because our guys are prepared. They're going to play super duper hard, and we'll be happy at the end of the day.
So this past fall camp, if you really want to call it a fall camp, obviously with the announcements going back and forth of whether you're going to play or not and everything like that, how did you make sure to get your guys ready for this game today?
Yeah, it was a daily process of one day at a time, much like how we go into the season 1-0 each week. Each day presented some different challenges, and our guys prepared themselves. We wanted to make sure we made corrections from last season. And each day we laid out a plan and a map for that to make each other better. And our guys challenged each other during practice. So, whether it was the defensive back group going against the receivers or the linebackers and the tight ends, we all just challenged each other each day.
When it comes to your position room specifically, who stands out or who put in the offseason work that's going to be a household name for this Penn State base?
Yeah, I think, obviously everyone's going to know Tariq Castro-Fields, but I think the guy that jumped on the scene is Joey Porter. He's going to start his first collegiate football game here today, and he's earned it. He worked really hard during the offseason, and he's been really consistent. I'm excited to see him play today.
So Joey Porter's a guy that I took note of when I was out at practice, and just his pure athleticism and size. Aside from his physical makeup, what makes him an elite football player?
He's extremely athletic. His length is great. He's smart. He's fast. And most importantly, he's consistent. When you have young football players as a coach, you want to be able to trust them. You want to know they're going to be in the coverage that they're supposed to be in on every snap. You want to know that they're going to line up where they're supposed to line up. And he showed that. In addition, he's a playmaker. He made play after play during camp, and I'm just hoping and excited that we see some of those playmaking abilities today.
Do you get butterflies still on game day, especially this year?
No. I love game day. This is the only day that I wish I could play again. I don't want to prepare physically or any of that, but on game day, you just get excited. It doesn't get old. When you hear fight songs like that in the background and the blue band going, this is why we do what we do. You love these moments and just want to see our guys go out there and leave it all out on the field.
Now we're seeing a look at Beaver Stadium. Obviously the Lions Shrine, the Nittany Lions also making an appearance on the Unrivaled Pregame Show. But for you, Terry, when it comes to those newer guys, especially the freshmen, not only in your position room, but also obviously across this football program, how do you settle them down on a day like this to make sure that, hey, we still have a job to do?
Yeah, you just want to speak confidence to them. These guys have earned it. When like a Joey Porter or Parker Washington, who's coming out going to play a lot of football today, you just want to give them the confidence to say, hey, you earned this moment. Treat it like high school. Go play hard. Don't worry about your mistakes and just leave it out there. Just play as hard as you can play as smart as you can play. The results will take care of themselves.
So when it comes to all the protocols that you guys have had to put in place, how have you seen this program really buy into what James Franklin and obviously the rest of you guys are doing on a daily basis, including this whole mask thing here?
Yeah, it's, obviously early on it was a great challenge, but over the course of time through camp, through repetition, our guys have bought in 100%. Our guys wear their masks daily. We don't have issues with that. They understand that the COVID-19 is serious. They respect it, and we're going to do our part in social distancing and wearing our mask and doing everything we can to stay safe and healthy.
When it comes to Indiana, this is not an easy team to start your season against. Obviously, this is a very talented Indiana Hoosiers program, but what can we expect from your perspective of things with that team today?
Yeah, well, we know, talking on the defensive side of the ball, their offense, they're loaded with talent. Their quarterback, Penix, is a great delivery guy. He's super smart. He wants to sit in the pocket and deliver and run the offense. They got two legitimate receivers that will be all Big Ten receivers at the end of the season. So we have our work cut out for us. They got a tight end that's very formidable as well. Obviously they had a lot of success against us last year, so they're looking forward to playing us this year. We hope that we made the right adjustments and corrections, and at 3:30 we're going to find out.
Now, I think something that's probably even bigger than this game today is the buddy walk going on. Obviously, you're a huge part of that, and I know that we have a special surprise for you, Coach Smith, right here on the Unrivaled Pregame Show.
Hey! Hi, Haley! Hi, Allison! I didn't know you guys were going to be there.
Now, they can't hear you, obviously, or you can't hear them, rather, but obviously a special moment with Haley and Allison to be able to be a part of this Unrivaled Pregame Show. But this is a daughter that obviously you have so much love for. And that buddy walk today, you can describe it a little bit, Coach Smith, and what that is and why it's so important to you and your family.
Yeah, the buddy walk's really important to me and my family. Obviously, Hades, the pride and joy of the Smith household. Today is an opportunity to raise money and awareness for, kids with special needs, and just to show the world that there is a place for them and there's inclusion for them. We're just so happy and proud to be at Penn State and to be surrounded by a community that supports kids with special needs. And I'm just so excited. It made my day. I didn't expect to see them on here. So it's an awesome event. Anyone that's willing to take the time to donate or volunteer their time, we really appreciate that, and it goes to great causes.
Haley and Allison, he can't hear you, but do you have any words of encouragement for Daddy before he goes and takes the field today?
Yes.
Say it one more time. Words of encouragement, to say the least. She's pumped up. I know she's probably already fired up to
Thanks,
say
Haley. Hi, Haley.
We love you. Go handle it. Go handle it.
All right. They said go handle business, take care of it, and they'll handle business on their end. So, guys, appreciate you guys stopping by on the Unrivaled Pregame Show. Good luck with the Buddy Walk today, and Coach Smith, appreciate you stopping by as well.
Thanks, Mitch. Appreciate you having me.
You're looking at the hashtag PSU Pride, and be sure to submit your pictures throughout today's show to have the opportunity to have an appearance on future editions of the Unrivaled Pregame Show. Ryan H. watching over in Hickory, North Carolina. Appreciate you tuning in. Dave K. watching in Pennsylvania. I hope the weather's pretty nice up there right now. It's a little overcast in Indianapolis, Indiana. K. And Mason, we are right back at you, Penn State. And I'm going to take note of some of these PSU Pride pictures. I mean, I know some of these are old and there's some game day and obviously stuff like that. I want to see some people that are getting after it at 8 a.m. this Saturday morning on October 24th. So use the hashtag PSU Pride and be sure to submit those to that hashtag for some shout outs. And again, I want to see some of you that are already getting after it on this beautiful Saturday morning. Once again, we are live on the Unrivaled Pregame Show presented by Highmark. We are live at the team hotel right now. They're going to get ready for breakfast here in a couple of minutes. You see some of them trickling up the escalator right here. Now, the fight song is playing in the background because basically what happens is the team wakes up. These players come down from either their hotel rooms, the elevator, whatever it is. They'll take this escalator down into their team meeting rooms, and they're getting COVID tested. But the reason for the fight song going on in the background, which you're probably like, oh my gosh, this is on loop. It doesn't stop. The reason for that is because they're trying to wake them up and obviously get them pumped up for a game day. There's not a lot of quietness around here at 8 o'clock a.m. Now, we are looking live at our VIP Zoom room. Look at all those fans already getting after it. We got people down of all ages, a couple down low with the jerseys on. I like that. Pennsylvania State right there. Looks a little purple, but I'm going to call that blue. Maybe just a little camera issue right there. Also, we got some cheerleaders going on right there. Appreciate all you guys tuning in on the Zoom room. Once again, that's the VIP Zoom room. Be sure to follow along during the Unrivaled Pregame Show throughout the year for your chance to be a part of that VIP Zoom room. Now, we got a couple more special guests that we're going to welcome in. The first being the voice of the Nittany Lions, Steve Jones. Steve, third time this week that we've been able to chat. How are you?
It's great to be with you, Mitch. It's finally game day, and seeing Haley made my day. So everybody support the Buddy Walk.
That's right, 100%. Support the Buddy Walk. Steve is at the hotel, basically across the street right here, through that window. So I'm going to virtually air high five you from here. Now we're going to welcome in somebody, Steve, that you know very, very well from his playing time here at Penn State and beyond. That being Kajana Carter, who appears to have quite the view today, to say the least. He's got the ocean in the background. Kajana, let's start by this. Yeah, there. Show us come on. We got the ocean. What ocean is that?
That's the Gulf.
The Gulf of Mexico. What a way to start. Kajana, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Good. Good to see your two faces again. Kajana, just catch us up to speed, really. Let's start there with what you have been up to since we last spoke a couple of years ago up here in Happy Valley.
I'm doing good. Obviously, a couple years ago, I got married to my beautiful wife, Sarah, who was actually a Penn State alum also. And then earlier this year, I guess, I know 2020 has been tough for everybody with the COVID, but it's been a blessing to me because I had a baby boy born on January 9th, KJ. So everything is good.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. Now, Steve and Kajana know each other very well, so I'm basically going to let these two go at it and tell some fantastic stories while we just sit here and watch these guys come up the escalator. So, Steve, go ahead and take this thing over.
Make me look good, Steve.
G, how you doing? My view is of Lucas Oil Stadium. Yours is of the Gulf of Mexico. But I get to be a game day, and you have to watch it. All right. So,
yeah, I'll tell you what. When you guys started this pregame show, I got goosebumps because earlier in the year you never know if the day was going to happen because what the Big Ten decided. So just waking up early, 8 o'clock in the morning, just eager to watch our guys play on the field is just exciting and just kind of brings back old memories. And good to see Coach Smith. We were teammates my freshman year. He was a senior, so. It's just everything. Seeing everybody in the game day apparel. I see like all the little collages you guys have right now, and it's just everybody's just getting excited. And it's been a long time coming for this day.
It's going to be a day where Penn State, for the first time since 1994, will open the season with a conference game, which you played in. It was in the Metrodome. You were coming off a season where you won your last 3 games. You beat Tennessee in the Citrus Bowl. You remember the trip out to Minneapolis and the anticipation for that 94 season with that opener at Minnesota? Because it didn't take long. You broke off a long run right away for a touchdown, which set the tone.
Yeah, obviously, I can't believe it's been so long ago, 26 years ago. But, yes, I do remember, the year before, we had a lot of eagerness to get into the Big Ten. And compete and see how we would fare in the conference. And obviously we had the 2 tough losses to Ohio State and Michigan. So we knew we had a lot of people back going into the next year. We were loaded. And it's just one of those things we didn't want to take anything for granted for that year. So, going into Minnesota is like we just wanted to kind of set a precedence and start off fast. And I remember we were in warm-ups of that game at the Metrodome, and the fans were just yelling at us like, "You guys suck!" And I'm sure it happens on every away game, but just for some reason that just resonated with us. Maybe it wasn't as crowded, or you can just it wasn't as loud at the beginning of practice. At the beginning of the warm-ups. I'm sorry, and I was pissed off, and I just told the guys, "These dudes are straight up disrespecting us. We beat them last year. Who the hell they think they are? We're gonna come here and embarrass them in their own place." And then obviously. So that's what happened, and just kind of use that as a stepping stone to a great season we had that year.
No question. You had a chance to watch Noah Cain and Devin Ford last year. So let's get the evaluation from the running back. When you look at Noah Cain, what do you see? When you look at Devin Ford, what do you see?
It's really amazing. Nowadays, sometimes I wish I was playing now because – now the coaches are playing freshmen, and but just to see how these guys last year developed and really transitioned from high school one season to being really a key pivotal part of our running game last year was amazing. Both of them I think I'm not sure if they both had a couple 100-yard games each, but I know they both at least had 100 yards running. The styles are the same. I think Noah might be a little bigger than Devin. Obviously, Devin a couple games last year, took long ones to the house. But these guys are both, amazing backs, and we're blessed. It's almost kind of like how when Saquon and Miles were together. Together. Obviously, Saquon was 1 year older, but we're going to miss Journey, obviously, and hopefully, health-wise, he gets better. And it's good to see that, obviously, we have a stable sort of a backfield where guys had experience from last year, and this is something that's not new to them. And I'm sure that getting the Big Ten play the first game is tough because a lot of times it's not saying that the other teams are easier to play, but the Big Ten you can't take no plays off, and you can't take no games off, so they got to get their minds ready right now. And I think they're excited to play. And I had Coach Sider is a great running back coach. He's been a great addition to our Penn State program. And I actually had a video conference call with them. It was like during the summertime, and when everything was kind of unknown what was going to happen. And he had me speak to the running back group, and they're a great bunch of kids, and they're real close knit, and it kind of reminds me how my running back group was when I was there.
Yeah, because you had Mike Archie and Stephen Pitts with you, two outstanding running backs as well. Something that, in talking with Kurt Shirakaki, he said, what I like about Coach Sider, beyond what he does with the running part of the running backs, he teaches them how to run legitimate routes, which is what Fran Ganner did with you and with Pitsy and with Mike Archie. How important is that element to have a threat as a receiver in the backfield like that?
Well, I mean, look at the system. I mean, obviously, look at the track record. I mean, how Saquon was here, and then Miles, and then look at what they're doing in the pros. And the way football is evolving, when we were playing, it was more of an I backfield, one tight end set, two receivers, or two tight end set, one receiver with a fullback and a tailback. So our routes were a lot different than what these guys are doing now. And Coach Sider, he's be a quarterback and be part of the passing game. So it's good to see that we're getting our guys out in the open and flanked out and getting in the open field, because we always want to say we're the best athletes on the offensive side. I'm sure the receivers will have something to argue about that, but having a weapon that can run and catch, it really keeps the defenses off guard, because they don't really know what's going to happen. If you're in the backfield, you could be going in motion and going out for a pass play, or next thing you know, you can act like you're out for a pass play, go in motion, and get back in the backfield and run the ball. So Coach Sider has done a great job, and it really makes somebody into a well-rounded running back, because obviously if guys want to get to the next level, this is what you have to be now, because look at the guys like Saquon and Miles Sanders has left that precedence at our program.
Kajana, I don't know if you can see the comments section right now on your screen, but basically somebody says, we name our son Carter after you. He was born February 1995. Wishing you the best. Have you ever realized that somebody named their kid after you?
I've been told a few times. Hey, that was a special year. Hopefully we have another one of those years. It's kind of one of those things like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like, we're the last undefeated team for our program. It's like, you know what? I just want to be recognized, but we need to have more of those type of records and stuff for our program, and good things will happen. But I had some people told me that they were thinking about naming their son actually Kijana, and then I'm sure the mom or dad was like, yeah, that's a little too much. But I've had a few that told me the name was Carter, and I think it was Edwina. I'm not sure if I said her name right or not, but thank you. It's truly an honor, and I appreciate that.
All right, Kajana, we got a couple more things for you. First being, we need a score prediction for today. Penn State-Indiana, first game of the 2020 season. Now, you better pick wisely. I can't imagine you're going to obviously pick the other way. So
of course
give us
not.
a score prediction.
These first games are tough. And, there's a lot of factors. Obviously we're going to win. But the score-wise, the great thing about us, we have a lot of returning starters on offense. Even though Journey Brown's not going to be there, but Noah Kane and Devin got a lot of playing time last year. We're going to put a lot of points on the board. Sean Clifford has another year under his belt. He played well last year as his first year, and the more games you play, the more confident you feel. And obviously, we got Baby Gronk back at the tight end, and our whole line is back, and great receivers. We lost, obviously KJ Hamler, but what they've done in that receiver package with, we're loaded like 5-6 deep. So I think we're really going to score a lot of points. I would say probably we're going to score at least 30 something. The thing is, if you watch college football this year, and the thing that's kind of, we're on a away game, so it's different. But when you're a home game, especially with us, we have like 107,000. You feed off the crowd sometimes when things are tough. If you see some of these games where there's no fans in the stands, you don't have that adrenaline, you don't have that extra from the fans, screaming and trying to rallying the guys and get the guys going. So this year's gonna be interesting. Guys really gonna have to be focused. It's almost like like an inter squad scrimmage in a sense. No disrespect, but there's not gonna be many fans in the stands, and they really got to focus and kind of find their inner self to gain some motivation. Because I know, like with me, when I ran out of the tunnel, running all the way to the end zone, I would get goosebumps to be excited. And it's going to be just a different atmosphere, and and the team that's going to be able to channel that the best and adapt to it is going to work out. But I just think with us, with our physicality and the caliber athletes that we have on our team, I think we're just going to wear them down. And like Coach Smith was saying, I think his name is Penix or whatever, Michael Penix. He's a heck of an athlete. Saw him last year, and we got to keep him contained. And their receivers are good, so. We got some young DBs. Well, Castro Fields is a senior, but we got some young guys in the backfield on the pass defense. So we got to, really get to the quarterback and try to rattle him so he doesn't have that true 3 to 5 seconds and really can take his time and decide where he's going to throw. We got to rattle him and get him and hit him. And so he's thinking about getting hit and worrying about Shaka Tony and Antonio Shelton Jr. coming at him. Versus who he's got to throw the ball to.
Kajana, appreciate you stopping by. I want you to give a wave to everybody in the VIP Zoom room right now. Once again, that was Kajana Carter. Appreciate you, Steve.
Thank you for everybody for getting up this morning.
Kajana?
I was just saying thank everybody for getting up this morning. Let's go State. Let's have a big win today.
Kajana Carter, our latest guest on the Unrivaled Pregame Show with the prediction of 30-something Penn State. IU, ? We'll come back to that 30-plus point spread for
I say
Kajana
OU
Carter.
probably. I say maybe 14.
14. 30-something, 14. Love that.
Yeah.
Appreciate you stopping by, Kajana Carter. Enjoy the ocean right there, the Gulf of Mexico, and hopefully we'll see you back up in Happy Valley soon.
Sounds good. See you, Steve.
Hey, see you, Keith.
All right, Steve. That's a lot of awesome insight from Kajana Carter right there. Do you ever get taken away, I guess you could say, or something like that, with the storytelling abilities of Kajana Carter and just reflecting on 94 and so on?
Obviously, one of the all-time favorites. I mean, without question, one of my all-time favorites. Every minute I spend with him, I cherish. But, this is what I found interesting, though, Mitch. Here's a Penn State alumnus from, goes back 26 years from that 94 season, right? Yet he knows so much about this team. He knows so much about this program. He talks glowingly about Saquon Barkley, and he talks about Miles Sanders. Then he talks about Noah Cain and Journey Brown and Devin Ford. You can tell how invested as an alumnus he is in this football program. You can tell how invested he is as an alumnus in the job James Franklin and Jaywan Sider are doing overall with the football team with James and position coach with Jaywan Sider. That tells you a lot about the connection that he has with the program. Tells you a lot about the job James Franklin has done making getting the Letterman invested in Penn State every day. Kajana Carter is a perfect example of that.
Absolutely. One of my favorite moments of every single season, obviously this year being different, is when those alumni do come back and James Franklin meets them out at the 50-yard line and takes a couple of pictures with them. I think that's just such a cool moment also, as well as riding that blue bus over to the stadium. So very well said, Steve. Now, once again, use the hashtag PSU Pride to be sure to submit your picture. See a dog right there. Steve, you have a dog?
I have 4.
4 dogs.
Yes.
Steve Jones has 4 dogs. That's like breaking news on the Unrivaled Pregame Show. I didn't know that you had 4 dogs. Once again, use the hashtag PSU Pride to make sure that you submit your picture throughout this 8-week stretch of a season during the regular season. Now, Steve, we're going to launch it over to Beaver Stadium and Gate A with Connor, who has a special report for us. Connor, go ahead.
Thanks, Mitch. First and foremost, I just want to say how awesome it is to be a part of this pregame show, especially on a fantastic morning here in State College. It's a little bit windy, but I'm still in short sleeves in late October, so it's all good. But I am here outside of Gate A, the home of Nittanyville. Obviously, Nittanyville, things are a little bit different this year, but they're still finding ways to have a positive impact on this team to showcase their school pride, regardless of whatever is thrown at them this season. If you want to learn a little bit more about how they're handling this season, how they're going to be showing that pride in various ways throughout the course of this year, be sure to go to their meeting on Zoom, 6 o'clock on Wednesday. They're going to be rolling out a bunch of cool stuff, including a banner contest, which is actually in the middle of the game right now. So what you have to do, you go and you submit a banner into their Twitter to approve it, first and foremost, approve the idea. And then you can also, on Wednesday, be in a competition that an esteemed panel of judges will be judging, including Steve Jones. He'll be there to make sure that, we're doing this judging contest and we're determining which banner is the best. And the winner of that banner contest will receive a special grand prize. But all of these banners will be showcased in Beaver Stadium in every single home game this year. So Nittanyville, yes, things are different. Yes, fans will not be in the stands, but thanks to Nittanyville, those banners, you will be able to see them live on television every single Saturday. So the tradition continues. It's definitely a nice sight to see. And Mitch, you got to praise everything that Nittanyville has done so far early in this season to keep the spirit alive.
All right, Connor, so let's be honest here. I don't know how many of the students are awake at this moment in time, aside from you and a couple of others. So where should the parents send their kids for all this information?
Yes, absolutely. And I can definitely attest to that. There aren't many students out here right now. But if they want to send their kids to this Zoom meeting, that's where they should be going first and foremost. You can follow Nittanyville PSU all on social media. And then once you follow them, you can DM them, and they will send you the Zoom link to get into that meeting on Wednesday. And that's really the way that you can get your foot in the door, get involved. So definitely that Zoom link, be sure to hit that up.
Connor, appreciate your time. Stay warm out there. It looks like a little overcast day in State College, so go take some cover in case it rains. Now, once again, hashtag PSU Pride is our hashtag of the day. Be sure to use that to submit your pictures throughout today's show and also in future editions of the Unrivaled Pregame Shows to have your face pop up as it continues to scroll along during the Unrivaled Pregame Show. Now, Steve, we got our recipe of the game. And that's brought to you by Wise Markets. I'm a big Wise guy myself, so we're going to be able to relate to this, obviously. Now, this is submitted by Tom and Kim Nielsen, Bob and Kim Nielsen, rather. With a picture with Coach Franklin right there. Now, I don't know exactly what the recipe is, Steve, so this is going to be a surprise for the both of us. But I'm looking forward to it popping up on the screen, to say the least. I don't know if you can cook. I really can't cook. Southwestern breakfast casseroles. Look at that picture.
First of all, Bob and Kim, I could see them making this. This is great. Look at that. Oh.
Man, that looks so good.
Good casserole at a tailgate once 2021 rolls around and we're all back together again. Look, here are the ingredients right here. That's not bad. Corn muffins, Mexicorn, loose hot sausage, 2 cups of shredded Mexican cheese, 1 dozen eggs, a cup of milk. Hey, what the heck? And then all sorts of great steps there. That's impressive.
I'm just gonna put the microphone down. This is Steve Jones' segment right here.
I mean, somebody said, hey, can you go out there and can you announce somebody what the recipe is? I don't know.
You're the guy. Yep. Once again, that is the Southwestern breakfast casserole, courtesy of Bob and Kim Nielsen, brought to you by Wise Markets. It does look fantastic. I want to see if we can pop that picture up one more time. There it is, the Southwestern breakfast
Bob and Kim.
casserole.
Well, see, but this is the part that Bob and Kim need to take care of. And of course, you and I know them very well. Just let us know exactly in 2021 where your tailgate is, because Mitch and I would like to pop by and enjoy.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Once again, thanks to Bob and Kim Nielsen for submitting that. I love that picture of them and Coach Franklin as well. Be sure to submit your recipe to NittanyLionClub.com for future editions of the recipe of the day is what I'm going to call it. Now, Steve, we're going to fly out to the Lion Shrine as you take a look at the Nittany Lion right there. And Gabby is on scene for us with another special report. Gabby, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Mitch. It's Gabriella Hornak standing outside of the Penn State Nittany Lion Shrine. Now, usually there's a giant group of people here guarding the shrine, but not today. And if there's anything Penn Staters love, it's tradition. So last week, Penn State celebrated their annual homecoming show. It was October 11th through 17th and the 101st one. That's a lot of homecoming. So homecoming is the perfect opportunity to engage students, faculty, alumni, and staff all over the nation. And this year, Penn Staters had the chance to bring their Penn State pride from the comforts of their couch. So the week started off with a virtual concert with Noah Cyrus. Moving into pumpkin painting at the Hub Lawn, there was certainly no shortage of excitement and engagement for Penn Staters. Students had the chance to vote all week on the hand-selected members of the homecoming court, and the 2 people with the most amount of votes, which was Adeline Mishler and Diego Santos, were recipients of the Guide State Forward Award. These court members, much like you at home, are Penn Staters who embody the legacy and tradition of our school. The week wrapped up with a virtual homecoming show where we featured videos of students, alumni, and faculty. And the best part, everyone can get involved. So when you're settling into your couch or makeshift tailgate spots, getting ready to tune into Penn State football as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers, just remember that no matter where you are or who you may be, Penn State pride never disappoints. Back to you, Mitch.
All right, Gabby, I've got a couple of follow-up questions for you. So number one, I called you Gabby. Is it Gabby or Gabriella? Because we're going to be seeing your face, I feel like, here on the Unrivaled Pregame Show for a couple weeks.
Yeah, Mitch, I hope to stick around as long as I can. Gabriella works fine, but my friends call me Gabby.
All right, well, hopefully we become friends, obviously, with everybody here in the audience on the Unrivaled Pregame Show. Now, I also saw a couple of pumpkins being painted. Are you a big pumpkin carver, pumpkin painter, any of those elements?
Oh, yeah, I'm totally in fall mode here. I mean, the leaves are falling. It's beautiful. We're all getting into the fall spirit. I'm painting pumpkins every night. No, I'm not. But, it's all about the spirit. And we're certainly having the spirit before the Penn State football game tonight.
Gabby, appreciate your time. Enjoy the day out there in State College, especially over at the Lions Shrine, and we'll see you soon, all right?
See you soon. Thanks, Mitch.
All right, we're going to have some fan shout-outs here as you take one more look at the VIP Zoom room here. Another, looks like a couple additions to that VIP Zoom room. I still am not quite sure what's going on with that camera in the middle. Still a little purple. I love the cheering. The cheering's awesome. A+ for the effort there. The color on the purple flag, a purple jersey, we got to get that fixed for future editions of the VIP Zoom room. Now we're going to be, once again, the PSU Pride hashtag. We're going to be using that all season long, so be sure to use that hashtag on social media, hashtag PSU Pride, and be sure to submit your pictures. Once again, we see that dog up there. I need to know what that dog's name is, to say the least. On my way to make the casserole. Thank you. Now, Steve, I don't know if you're still there.
I'm here.
I feel like we should just make a casserole together.
Well, all I know is I feel like that between what Kim and Bob were able to do, and then of course maybe my ability to sell it with the reading of the ingredients, we've convinced Edwina this is the way to go for game day. And you have it between now and and 2:00 for the radio broadcast and 3:30 for kickoff to make it.
No doubt about that. The personal Steve Jones casserole. Maybe that's something in the near future.
No,
all right, now we got another.
Mitch, we want people to live.
Right. All right, so we got another special story for you guys. Obviously, this past week, Jonathan Sutherland was honored with the 0 jersey, the first time that Penn State has ever done that, and the first time that college football has ever allowed the number 0 to take place within football programs. So Penn State made it a special tradition to be sure to honor someone on the special team side of things that really dedicates their craft towards not only what they're doing on the football field, but off of it as well. So Jonathan Sutherland awarded the 0 jersey. Steve, I know you've had the opportunity to speak to Jonathan as you see Coach Lorig right there presenting him with the jersey with Coach Franklin in the background. But just what a special honor for Jonathan Sutherland, Steve.
Yeah, and it's richly deserved because I remember when this idea was conceived back in late July, early August, they had put together a script, and I'd helped make a couple changes in script, factual stuff and so forth. Then I did a reading for it. So I knew back then that they were going to do it and it was going to go to somebody on special teams. Well, the first person I thought of was Jonathan Sutherland because he has meant so much to what happens on special teams. He plays on almost all of them. He throws his heart and soul into it. Then you see what he does off the field. I mean, he personifies what Penn State is off the field as well. There was a long list of guys that put in requests for 0. Antonio Shelton, I thought, had some of the better ones.
Yeah, basically a campaign going for it.
He had a campaign going, but Jonathan Sutherland, I think, would be universally agreed to by everybody that he was the right choice. Because I know when I saw this back in July, August, I thought to myself, that's a Jonathan Sutherland number right there. Now, it's going to take away a little bit, though, Mitch. Let's be honest. All the stadiums you and I go into, and I told Jonathan this, I said, I got to give you credit. I said, the love that you have in stadiums all over the place. I say, all these Penn State fans wearing 26 all over the place. I said, it's really amazing. He's going to lose that aura. Or is there another reason? Is there another reason why they're wearing 26? Let me think about that. But Keziah Holmes, you got it now, Keziah. So it's all yours. I mean, Keziah's alone at 26 now.
Jonathan Sutherland, when he was awarded that out at practice inside Beaver Stadium, was a beautiful setting, picture perfect day out there. Nobody in the stands, obviously, other than the team on the field. And when he was awarded that, his teammates erupted. I can tell you that. As you see Coach Lorig once again presenting him with the 0 jersey, James Franklin in the background. And now speaking of fans, Steve, obviously fans aren't going to be able to be in attendance this season, but they're going to be able to be in attendance on our Unrivaled pregame show. So use the hashtag PSU Pride to submit your pictures throughout the season, and we'll also be able to give you shout-outs inside Beaver Stadium, outside Beaver Stadium. Steve will be able to do it on the radio and so on and so forth. So another element, obviously, is to be able to have fan cutouts that we've seen around the country all season long. And here to talk about that is Chris Grossi, Assistant AD of Marketing. Now, Chris, first off, appreciate you taking the time today, but what do you got going on in the background of your shot right there? It looks like a couple of cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, we've got some great Penn State fans here all around me. Part of our early cutout orders, these are some of the first people to get on board with our cutout program here. So we are excited to offer this opportunity to our fans. We've sold thousands of these, and we'll be over at Beaver Stadium this week in them and putting them up in the stadium. So we're really excited about this opportunity for our fans to have a presence in the stadium.
Now, Chris, you got Beaver Stadium right in the background of your shot right there as you sit in the Pagula Ice Arena. But what do fans need to do to be able to be a part of the cardboard cutout crew there inside Beaver Stadium next weekend?
So you can go to gopsusports.com/cutouts, and that's where you can find where you can order them all. We've got that. We'll continue to take orders throughout the season, and so we'll continue to add more and more to the section as we go through. So just head on over there. We've got a great program with the cutouts, and we're able to give part of the proceeds to Thon and some equity and inclusion programs here within the university. So we're excited about the response we've gotten so far.
Now, I think it's super interesting when it comes to the cardboard cutouts. Obviously, they don't just get placed there. They don't just show up on game days, so they're there. But what is the process to actually implementing those into the stands? I'm super curious about that.
Yeah, it's a massive undertaking. It will be. We've got a group of 20 to 30 volunteers. We'll be at the stadium all next week, attaching them to the bleachers within the student section, actually. So we're looking to fill the entire student section in the south end zone with these cutouts. We've got to place them out there in order. We've got to keep tabs on which numbers go where. We've got to keep groups who ordered them together. So it is going to be a logistical challenge, but we're excited for the opportunity to do it.
Now, do you get to see who submits the cardboard cutouts? And if so, are there any crazy ones so far?
There has been over 500 different pets submitted. We have a horse, we have a squirrel. Someone submitted a picture of a snowman wearing a Penn State hat. It is really quite interesting and fun to kind of go through all the submissions that we've had.
I mean, I know Steve loves that right there. There's going to be a horse in the crowd, Sandy. So that's kind of breaking news with the cardboard cutouts. Steve loves it. And a squirrel. And a squirrel.
And the squirrel, which, by the way, squirrels over the years have done a great job on campus of inhabiting campus. So it's almost symbolic.
No doubt about that. Once again, you can go to gopsusports.com/cutouts to be a part of the crowd inside Beaver Stadium. Chris, appreciate you stopping by on the Unrivaled pregame show, and we'll see you back in the Happy Valley.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Sandy Barber, athletic director for Penn State University. I'm going to turn this camera just a little bit, Sandy, so we make sure to get you in here. There it is. All right, so I asked Terry Smith this earlier, and obviously this is the first game of the 2020 season. It's always special, but is this year just a little bit different?
Yeah, Mitch, there's no doubt about it. Given everything that everyone has been through, and you know, we're a few weeks behind some of the other leagues, and you know, I think that was very purposeful. I'm proud of the Big Ten. I'm proud of how intentional we've been. Do I wish that we had been playing already? Of course I do. But I think it was all for the right reasons, and I'm just so excited for these guys and our program. And I'm excited for our fans because I know how much this means to them in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. I've heard from so many that have said, you know, I'm going to be, I'm ready at 3:30, FS1, Penn State, Indiana, let's go. And so that's been fun. And I'm excited for our community to maybe do something a little normal.
Now I'm going to have you wave to our VIP Zoom rooms. Speaking of fans, they're going to pop up here in a second. They've been with us all day. I'm not really sure what's going on with our guy in the middle right there with the purple camera looking thing. We might need to invest in a new camera for that guy.
Yeah, right I think we've got the Pantone wrong there.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, we got a dog appearance.
We've got a yellow lab. Yellow labs are close to the labs in period are close to my heart, but love the labs there, and love the outdoor fireplace.
Yeah,
nice. That's good stuff there. Love
that
it.
Definitely looks nice. Now I heard a question when I was watching college football last night about, can the Big Ten situation almost be a benefit for these guys taking the field today? So obviously we would have loved to have been out there a couple of weeks ago, but the circumstances are what they are. So do you feel it could be a benefit for James Franklin and his program?
Well, I do think what the benefit has been is we've had a few weeks to sit back and watch and learn. And I'm not necessarily talking about on the football field, but perhaps that too. That's not really what I'm looking for. There are always there are positives and negatives. There's certainly benefit. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. You know, we don't know how the season's going to play out in terms of what kinds of interruptions. Obviously, a challenge for us is going to be from a bye standpoint, number of weeks. We don't really have flexibility. We don't have room for interruption. So I guess, you know, our 9 games, what will end up being hopefully nine games up against how many ever the SEC plays or the Big 12 plays or the ACC plays. So we'll see. I know this. Our guys are ready to go. They're excited about it. They can't wait. This is what we've been working for in order to let them play, allow them to play, give them that chance to play the game they love. And to do it for our fans, to do it for their families, to do it for our fans. Our fans have been absolutely incredible in terms of their support, letting our guys know how much they love them, how much they appreciate them, how much they appreciate and recognize the sacrifices that they're making to do this. And I'm excited for our fans to be able to have something to focus on other than coronavirus and testing and masks and social distancing. Now, please watch safely. Please, follow all the protocols and everything. We want everybody to stay safe and healthy. But we're excited that we're here, and it's kind of strange to think that it's October 24th,
right.
And we're just kicking it off for the first time. But what isn't strange about these times, right?
No doubt about that. Now, I know earlier this week, Penn State Football announced that they're going to have a new patch and a phrase on the back of their helmet. But what went into that decision with Penn State United?
Yeah, that's been months of conversation. I would say most importantly, conversation. And I'm all of our students have heard me say this, and our coaches and our staff. And I've been an athletic director for 24 years now. I'm not sure that math is right, but something like that. And I would tell you from the beginning. From 1996 at Tulane, I've always stood in front of our student athletes and said, this is a time for you to find and use your voice for things that you think are important. I've got a couple of rules that they need to follow. They need to do it respectfully. They need to know what they're talking about. They need to have done their research, not only on the side, if there's a side, but they need to understand the topic and all aspects of it. And then finally, the coaches need to know what they intend to do, because their platform on a team, their platform is not theirs alone. So that's my kind of 30,000-foot view instruction to students. And then obviously from a coaching standpoint, from a leadership in each one of their programs standpoint, James and the entire staff have done a phenomenal job as it relates to football in terms of just, helping these young men to walk through the issues, walk through social justice, walk through equality and our history in our country around race. And that's why I'm so proud of them. proud of the conversation, and then coming together around Penn State United, and that we are in this together, and together we can get better, as opposed to coming at it from a negative standpoint. What is it we're protesting against, or what is it we're railing against? And so I love what they've come up with. From a departmental standpoint, we're going to use Penn State United, and again the positive approach to social justice, and all of our teams. We've got the 2 basketballs and the 2 hockeys that will be next to kind of take don the blue and white from a uniform standpoint, and then everybody else will follow in January, and they'll all have expressions, ways that they as students, through their education, through their conversations, want to express their thoughts around being united together towards a more equal and equality for all.
No, I know I've spoken to PJ Musfer and individuals like that throughout the football program on pretty much a weekly basis about this topic, and it's just so impressive to see them embrace it on a daily basis. But obviously, Penn State-Indiana, they're going to take the field today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1 as you take one more look at the virtual VIP Zoom room. Sandy Barber giving them a wave. But I want to know, Sandy, not so much the football aspect of things. You mentioned it in your first response, the challenges that it took to get to this position today. What are some of those challenges that even this Penn State football program went through getting here alone yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, it's, the logistics, the operation, and it all centers around being safe and healthy and making sure that as we go through moving a team and a team of this size from State College, PA, to Indiana, the testing piece of it. I think it's been well chronicled, the daily antigen testing that the Big Ten is using, and all of the protocols around that, and our great partners at Biodexis and Quidel, and they were here in Indiana to greet us and to do our testing this morning. And of course, you got your fingers crossed that you come back negative. What's the stay positive and test negative?
That's right.
Yeah. So the testing piece is huge, but all of the different logistics around meals and just the precautions that we need to take, the precautions around buses and planes and wearing masks, and our medical staff and our sport performance team has just been from almost from day one. It's ironic. As we were driving in yesterday, I said to Scott Sidwell, March 12th, I was here in Indianapolis with our men's basketball team when it all shut down, and now here we are returning to the state of Indiana to start it back up. And whether it's our performance team or our training staff or our docs or our university leadership that has been behind us from minute one, understanding how important it is to do everything we can to allow these student athletes to play, and that it's not just a throwaway year in their lives. I'm very appreciative of Dr. Barron and Nick Jones and the board and everybody that's helped us get here today. It's been a lot. It's complex. Apparently, I was quoted yesterday in an article about playing 31 teams in the spring, that 10 pounds doesn't fit in a 5-pound bag. But I'm not sure where that came from. But it's a lot, and I couldn't be prouder of our staff who, from an athletics standpoint, once football comes back to camp in August, you go Mach 2 with your hair on fire until at least after the winter sports are done, because the spring from a load standpoint just tends to be a little bit less. Well, let's face it, we got to March and the coronavirus hit, we shut down. We kept going Mach 2 with our hair on fire as to how do we approach this? How do we solve this? How do we keep people safe? We did that through the summer, and here we are in October. So nobody in athletics has had a break since July of 2019.
It's been a while, to say the least. Sandy Barber, appreciate you stopping by. We did catch up with Mike Gesicki, who I know you know very well.
Absolutely.
Yesterday evening, so let's hear more from Mike Gesicki in that interview. Welcome back to the Unrivaled Pregame Show as we bring you our first NFL Spotlight. And here to help us do that is Miami Dolphins tight end Mike Gesicki, number 88 in the Penn State uniform. And obviously we enjoy seeing what he did with Trace McSorley and company during his time at Penn State University. And we are continuing to enjoy seeing what he does with the Miami Dolphins. Mike, first off, appreciate you taking the time to join us today. A little disclaimer for the audience. Obviously, it's dark out behind me, so that means it's Friday night, but it's Mike's bye week, so we're trying to let him get some rest time rather than wake up bright and early with us. So, Mike, first off, what does a COVID bye week look like in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's definitely a little bit unique. It's a little bit different than bye weeks in the past, but, honestly, the most important thing is just kind of relaxing, letting the body heal up a little bit and enjoying some downtime. And, like you said, not having to waking up too early tomorrow. So it'll be nice to kind of get some rest and then ultimately, tune into Penn State, man. I'm excited.
All right, Mike. So when we're sitting on the flight here, obviously you got freshmen all the way up to fifth-year seniors. And those freshmen, their faces, they're like glowing, right? It's stars in their eyes. They're not really sure what's going on. Do you remember your first time traveling on the road for a Big Ten game?
My first time traveling, we went all the way to Dublin, Ireland. So that was definitely a good time. And then first time traveling to a Big Ten game, went back home to Rutgers. So that was definitely another cool one for me as well. I don't take for granted, the time that I spent at Penn State and what they did for me.
What can you tell us about this guy?
Cliff.
Quarterback Sean
What's up,
Clifford.
buddy? How
What
are
up,
you?
Mike?
Hey.
I can't hear a word you're saying, but
Yeah,
Can't
it's
hear
all
you.
good.
He's just saying what's up.
Yeah. Hey, tell him I said good luck tomorrow.
Says good luck tomorrow.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good luck Sunday.
Hey, we're off this week. Appreciate you.
Sean Clifford, he's off this week, so he's going to take some downtime. So good for him. Mike, obviously with the game coming up this Saturday or tomorrow rather, as we record this on Friday night, what are your expectations with this Penn State football team?
Yeah, absolutely. Pat is, extremely talented guy. Somebody that, he's kind of reached out to me before, just asking different things, how different stadiums are that I remember he texted me last year when you guys were playing night game at Iowa, just kind of asking about the preparation for that kind of stuff, just because, Beaver Stadium is always loud, but never really for the offense. So, just, playing with that kind of noise in the background and, how all that is. And, just asking, different things on, some techniques and things like that. So, I mean, definitely a guy that's always trying to get better. And I think that that's an obvious thing when, you see somebody with as much success that Pat has. He's always trying to get better and improve. So, super excited for him.
Mike Gesicki, we need a score prediction for tomorrow. Penn State-Indiana, 3:30 Eastern kick on FS1.
Yeah, absolutely. First game of the year, obviously, it's been a unique situation with, practices and all that kind of stuff. So obviously, Penn State's going to come out with the win. Exact score prediction, I'm going to go Penn State 35, Indiana 14. I think, there's always, some of those, early game jitters and all that kind of stuff. Once everything kind of settles out, I think Penn State's going to pull away, and it's going to be a good one for all the Nittany Lions fans out there.
35-14, the final score prediction from Mike Gesicki. Mike, appreciate you taking the time out of your bye week to join us.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you guys having me.
Once again, that's Mike Gesicki with our first edition of the NFL Spotlight. Appreciate him tuning in during his bye week. I know that he was getting some golf in on Friday afternoon, so we wanted to honor his bye week request nonetheless to do that interview recorded. So appreciate him stopping by. Now, before we wrap up this edition of the Unrivaled Pregame Show, we have to remind you that the Wise Tailgate Picture of the Week, be sure to submit those. Here's a look at the categories. Best mask, be sure to submit pictures with your best mask to have an opportunity to be featured on the Tailgate of the Week. Best fan cave. Ooh, I like that one. I don't know that I have much of a man cave, but I'm sure there's some great man caves out there. And best We Are chant. We are Penn State. I know there's a lot of people out there that dedicate a lot of We Are under their voice, if you want to call it that, throughout the season. So I want to hear all those We Are chants. And once again, the Tailgate of the Week is brought to you by Wise Markets. Now, here's our final look at the PSU VIP Zoom room. appreciate all those guys tuning in on the Unrivaled Pregame Show. I'm told that the purple guy in the middle there is actually something to do with the sun, sun fade. So we'll have to get him a new flag here in the near future. Now, what a way to wrap up the first edition of the Unrivaled Pregame Show than to bring in the Mike Man. Appreciate everybody tuning in on this edition of the Unrivaled Pregame Show. Mike Man, take it away, brother.
Are you ready for Penn State football?